Are you looking for a shortcut to sell to wealthy individuals? I've got your shortcut to selling to rich people right now on the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Come join me. Hi, it's Dave Lorenzo, and today we've got a shortcut for selling to affluent clients. That's right, if you want to sell stuff to rich people, this is the episode you can't afford to miss. Before we get into that, I got to remind you, if you like what you hear today, give me a big old thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you'd like to get more of here on the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Do you want more business-to-business sales information? Do you want more marketing to the affluent? You want some sales strategy? You want to know about sales leadership? Do you want to know all kinds of shortcuts to make your job as a selling entrepreneur easier? I've got it for you. Leave your comments down below and we'll make it happen for you right here on the Dave Lorenzo Daily. Finally, remember, I need you to subscribe and ring that bell up at the top. Get the notifications so you know when we publish new content. It comes out every single day. All right, here's your big shortcut for selling to the affluent. It's called affinity selling. That's right, it's what you have in common. It's the common interest you share with rich people. So right now, in your life, there are rich people all over the place, but you don't stumble over them. You're not tripping over them because you're not putting yourself in their path. Here's how you do that. Have common interests with people who are affluent. So I want you to think about where affluent people go, what their hobbies are, groups they join, activities they participate in, and I want you to participate in those activities too. And you don't even have to disrupt your daily routine to do it. Let's start with your kids. Let's say you're a family person and you have kids, and your kids are in, if they're anything like mine, they're in all kinds of activities. You can choose to put your daughter in a dance school in a middle-class neighborhood, or you can choose to put your daughter in a dance school in an affluent neighborhood. Seek out the dance school in the rich people's neighborhood, because while you're sitting there waiting for your daughter to finish dance class, you'll be hanging out and talking to rich people. Your son wants to play baseball. Get him in a baseball league in an affluent town. I don't care if you have to drive 3 towns, 4 towns over. I don't care if it's a 45-minute commute to get to practice. That's business time for you. You're sitting there at a 2-hour baseball practice in the bleachers, in the shade under a tree, talking to somebody who's got a ton of money. That's better than sitting in the bleachers drinking beer with a guy who's got a stained t-shirt and shorts that are 5 years old and barely fit him. Here's my point. If you have activities you do with your kids, you can do them in a middle-class neighborhood, you can do them in a rich neighborhood. Do the activities in a rich neighborhood. Point number 2, your hobbies. Are your hobbies sitting on your porch, hanging out, scratching your chin? Or are your hobbies playing golf, riding horses, learning about fine wine? Think about what the rich do for hobbies and go do those things. You don't have to be a wine collector. Just take a wine class. Who else is learning about wine? Affluent people want to learn about wine. Think about what rich people do and do those things too. You can take a cooking class at a community college, or you can take a cooking class at the fancy French restaurant over in the affluent neighborhood. Where do you think the rich people are going to go? They're going to go to the cooking class at the fine French restaurant in the affluent neighborhood because they're going to want to be taught by the best. You can collect baseball cards, which is fun, and I do it with my son, but you can also collect coins and stamps, or at least be interested in looking at coins and stamps when the coin show or the stamp show comes to town. You can collect antiques, or at least you can go look at antiques and go shopping for antiques. Who else goes to antique shows? Affluent people go to antique shows. Refine your hobbies strategically so that you put yourself in the path of the affluent consumer. That's your target audience. Use your hobby time as time to at least do some research, if not to connect with people who can buy from you or refer you. Now let's talk about the organizations that you belong to. If you want to give back to the community, I encourage you to give back to the community through service the way affluent people do. Join the local Rotary Club. Join the Kiwanis Club. Join a club that gives back to the community, that helps to build parks and helps to shape the destiny of the town and the community. That's what affluent people do. Affluent people don't sit back, join groups, and go to associations that just have a dance every other month and, get together and play cards. They join organizations in the community that shape the destiny of the community. You need to join those organizations too, but even more importantly, you need to become an active member of those organizations. And that means getting on the board, leveraging your time in the organization to have high exposure and show that you're someone who deserves respect and you're someone who can help deliver value. Next is the arts. Culture and the arts are a haven for affluent individuals. Affluent individuals support the ballet, they support the opera, they support the symphony, and they encourage people to get involved in these things. I want you to get involved in these things too. First thing I want you to do is get a season pass to the symphony, ballet, or orchestra in your local community. I want you to go to these events, and I want you to hang out and observe and do research and see how these folks act. And talk to them and see where else they go besides the symphony, the ballet, and the orchestra. I want you then, after you've been immersed in this environment for a little while, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, I want you to elevate yourself and take a position on the board to help bring better and even higher quality orchestras, symphonies, ballets to your community. You know who's on the board of the Arts Council in your area? Affluent people, business leaders, people who make decisions based upon large budgets. That's where you need to be. Those are the things you need to be involved in. The final thing we can talk about today, as far as putting yourself in the pathway of the affluent, having an affinity, a shared affinity with the affluent, is involvement in charitable organizations. If you firmly believe in the mission of a charity, join it. Become a part of the organization, and then elevate yourself to a position of leadership. But only get involved in the charitable organization if you believe in the cause, because I want the passion you have for that organization to come through, because that's magnetic to the people around you. And the people around you in the charity are going to be affluent people who can afford to support the cause. So again, if you're going to get involved in a charity, pick something that you're phenomenally passionate about and go and demonstrate that passion, get into a leadership role, and help advance the cause of the charity while being immersed in the culture of people who also have money and are decision makers and can do business with you. Now, there's a key element to all of this. As you're getting involved and networking with the affluent through the shared affinity that you have, I don't want you to sell. I want you to deliver value constantly. I want you to think about who you can introduce them to. I want you to meet new people and connect those new people together. And then when they ask what you do for work, that's your opportunity to talk about the value you provide in your business life. But don't overtly sell as you're in these shared affinity situations. Think about the everyday decisions that you make, the organizations that you belong to, your activity in the community. You could be doing it in a middle class area, or you can be doing it in an affluent area. Select the affluent area, connect, deliver value, develop relationships, and the business will come over time. I'm Dave Lorenzo, and I'm here every day for you to help connect you with affluent clients, to help you make your B2B sales process easier, and to deliver phenomenal sales strategy that will help you do this and sell more. Until tomorrow, I hope to see you right back here again at the next episode of the Dave Lorenzo Daily.